This
So,
conference will now be recorded.
what I'm going to explain like today about DevOps and how the strategy is working in the organization level, how the project wise using the DevOps people are working into the projects. So, what are the benefits of the DevOps and why we need to use DevOps kind of things? I'm going to explain you now. So, here in the picture, you can see here we have one of the developer and here we have one of the operation man. So both are working on same platform that is called as an integrating platform. So these integration tools are in the market released in the so many. So in the simple terms, we can say Jenkins is a main uh, integrating tool when the DevOps has introduced in the market. But in the current market, we have a hell lot of integration tools are there. So you people going forward will let you know what are the tools and each tool how does it configure. So I can explain you about the Jenkins. What does it do? So here developer and here is the operations, right? So the what is the aim now? So we have to deploy one of the application into the our organization level. So when the customer has a requirement to deploy one application, then organization will take in contract to particular client. So let's say we have a Netflix application. So Netflix is a one of the client to the our organization. So we have to be take care entire things for the Netflix application running in the market. So initially, what the steps we have to take to deploy that application into DevOps platform. So when we have a requirement, we'll get a thing for the develop plan. So we will come up with a development plan for the Netflix application. So what are the features it's going to be deployed? So let's say we have a different features over there in the Netflix, right? So English movie, Hindi movie, Telugu movie, and coming to other services, we have a restrictions mode like two screens and one screen and 5 members users, some kind of restriction services. So these all are called as a services providing. So each and everything we have to be planned made by the developers, right? This is a initial stage. Development people will be making a application plan. Okay. Afterwards, then we have to be push that code into the repositories. So what is repository here? So here we can say this is one of the Git. Git is nothing but it is a code repository centralized server. So we can access it from local system and we can access it from remote system. So what does it do basically? So when developer has written code, we have to be store it in one central repository because everyone is using that code. That's what we have a plan with Git repository. So here we can say we have to be store the code and other developers. Here so many developers are there, not only one developer, more than three people are there working in one application development. So one developer is working on one services and one other developer is working on another service. So each developer will push the code into this central repository. So there we call as some of the services in the Git. We call as branches. So what are the branches? So going forward, I will deeply explain such kind of things. So this is the main concern of the Git. So here, what is the Git now? It is a code centralized center. Like we have to store our code into the Git. Is that clear, guys? Okay, fine. So I think I hope you guys are understood till here what is Git. So
Yes,
here
Vinay,
is a
yes.
code. Yeah, here you can also observe in the picture, Git is nothing but code. So Git is maintaining the code completely. And next is build tool we are seeing here. So after code stage, after first is planning, and next is code, and next is build. So there are some build tools like we have a Maven, Gradle, and in the market several build tools are there. So here we can say these are the most common. Everyone uses such kind of Gradle and Maven build tools. So what does exactly do build? So here we have a pieces of code, right? Multiple developers has developed their code into their own branches. So they have a different individual packages we can say. So we have taking one example, right, as a Netflix. So there we having a different kind of services. I told you, right, Hindi movies, Telugu movies, and different language movies, and some restriction services. So such kind of services called as in packages. So each package should be built in a one package that is called Maven. So the all entire code it will be built in a one uh, isolation build code. So what does it will do? It will make as a one package. So then we can call as them artifacts. So all individual code, all packages, and when we have using Gradle or build tool, it will make as a one of the bundle of the code. So that bundle of the code we called as a artifacts. Okay. So is it clear now? What is build and what is code?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So once development team has done with their code and build is completed, and next step is test. So we know, right, what is test basically. I think some people are aware and some people are not aware, but no issues. I will tell you what is a test over here under the DevOps platform. When test stages comes, so we have a artifacts. We are going to push them into one of the deployment level. Okay, before going to deployment level, we have to be uh, test the compatibilities, like we have a mobile compatibility and Mac compatibility, Windows compatibility. So this kind of such application service are there, right? So let's say our Netflix application we have to install in our mobile. We are watching in web browsers, we are watching in TV compatibilities. So such kind of simple scenarios we can say as a test. So here some of the tools are there. Let's say we have a Selenium test here, one of the most trendy tool in the market. Okay, so not only the compatibilities of devices, so there are many other features are providing by the Selenium. Let's say we have vulnerabilities, not vulnerabilities we can say. So we have another where how to be integrating each compatibility versions, and what are the supportable packages dependencies, and it is making some automations by using Selenium. So by using Selenium we no need to test them into the manually, so automatically the compatibilities will be fixed by the Selenium tool. So that is what introduced in the development team for the DevOps platform as a Selenium test. So what I am telling this, all tools are here making automation things only. This will be make automate, this will be make automate, this will be make automate. So these are the tool for the development tool. Okay. So once the development team is done with the test, and it will have an integrated platform. So here is the main common platform between the developer and operator. Okay. So when the development is completed, so Jenkins he knows once the test stage is completed, the Jenkins will inform to deployment operations. So the operation team will get a notification. So such kind of application, new plan, new build has tested successfully, and next we have to deploy into the platform of the application. So I'm telling about platform. So what exactly the platform here? In this scenario, we comes up with a cloud technologies. Let's say we have a Azure, AWS, and GCP. So this cloud platform has an we knows, right? So before days we are using physical machines, but nowadays we are using completely virtualization cloud machines and all. So everything we are maintaining by using cloud services. So we have to deploy this artifacts application into cloud environments, whatever it is, Azure cloud or else GCP cloud or else AWS cloud. So in our scenario, we can take one AWS cloud platform. So this part is clear, right? Whatever we have the code development for the Netflix. So now we have to discuss about this part, operations part.
Operations.
Yes. So as of now, development code is ready, but now application we need to be deploy and we need to run and we need to release into the market. So how the process will be happen basically? So before going to deploy such kind of applications into the infrastructure, so what kind of infrastructure configurations things you will make to compatibility for that application? So in the cloud services, there are many deployment services. I think you people are aware or not, I'm not sure, but in our going forward classes, we can discuss more on that deeply. So we can have instances. I'm talking about AWS cloud now. So I think you people are aware of what is EC2 instances, right? And we have to know about Kubernetes services and web app services. These are the deployment tools in the cloud platform. So that call as a where we can able to deploy our application into the cloud resources. What are the tools like EC2 instances and Kubernetes services and web app services? These are the main three things for the web application deployment services in the cloud for the AWS. And we have Azure also there. We can call them as Azure VMs and Azure Kubernetes services and Azure web app application deployment services. So these call in Azure. So what I'm comparing here, services are same, but naming conventions are different in the multiple clouds, Azure, GCP, and AWS. So we can take once the artifacts has been ready to deploy in the infrastructure, we can set up the infrastructure initially. Okay, so give me some example. To run a application, what are the components we required basically? Do you guys any idea on that? So behind an applications, what are the hardware things we required basically? Okay, fine. No problem. I will tell you. So initially we required first component is a machine. VM is one of the main component we need to deploy the application into the application of the VM. So the VM needs network, right? And the application needs database, right? These three are the main basic components for the application running in the in the platform. So what does VM do? So this VM having CPU and or a memory, right? Uh, Other thing what we can have performance and this all things taken care by VM. So here network. So what does network do basically? We are giving IP address. Okay, we are converting IP to DNS. That is called netflix.com. Okay, so these are maintained by the network. And next is database. What does database required here? So whatever we have the table structures, let's say we have a, I told you right, there's many structure of, there is so many of the movies in the Netflix. So we don't know how to find out them easily. So that is called database has structure wise setup in the market, right? Where we have a databases where it is storing all the data pulling information. So we can call use them databases. So here we can use multiple database flavors in the market. So there are so many several market released database flavors: Azure MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle, MySQL, blah blah blah. There are many. So you can use anything, depends on your application compatibility or depends on your requirement, depends on your cost cutting, everything you can compare for that. So structure wise things it will be making. Okay, so these three are clear, right? If you have any question, just let me know. If you know any additional things, components, please let me know. That would be appreciate. So as of now, is there any questions? Arun and
No, no, sir.
we have clear, right? What I'm explaining. So that basic infrastructure thing we read: VM, a network, database. So before going to deploy this application into that VM, we have to set up with the infrastructure. So nowadays that infrastructure we are making automate. So there in the market several code tools are there. So there is called infrastructure as a code. Okay, so this is called software as a code. This is called infrastructure as a code. Okay, so the we are using here Java, Python, .NET, Node.js, something blah blah, all the tools of the application we are using. So coming to infrastructure deployment code, we are using Terraform and AWS CloudFormation and Azure ARM templates and PowerShell, shell scripting, Ansible, YAML, all this kind of related to the infrastructure code related. So what are the codes and how does we use when we need to use such kind of codes, and what are the modules are there, and which is a strong, which is like more easy. These kind of all doubts I will be clear in further um, next classes. So I'm just glance about the what are the infrastructure tools as a IAS thing I'm telling you. So after this demo call, you can go through what is SaaS, what is platform as a service, what is infrastructure as a service. So those are basic common things you can get in the Google. That is not an issue. So we can use, I'm just giving an example like infrastructure as a code we have to use for this one in the deployment level. So once we have artifacts is done and we are deploying into the infrastructure code, and here we can see Ansible. So Ansible is one of the configuration management tool. Okay, so what does it do actually? So here completely we are making automate, right? So when the artifact has been deployed into the one of the VM, the Ansible will taking care about the configuration. Okay, so they will require database, they will require web servers, and they will require network and some other application dependencies. It will be configured. So there we have to be write some playbooks. So in the market we will find we'll get a lot of Ansible templates, depends on our requirement. So by using that Ansible templates we can make configuration into the applications. That's what here completely. Uh, Ansible is an open source tool and which has been powered by Red Hat. So Red Hat is, is one of the Linux flavor. So that is the thing of the Ansible. So it is like I will give one example of using Ansible. So we have fresh bare metal of VM. Okay, we have one of the new VM. In the new VM, at a time, we have to deploy multiple packages, like multiple installation of services. Okay, so in Windows system, basically you will install Java, you will install some others required softwares, right? So such kind of things we can use by using Ansible. So what is a main beauty thing of this Ansible? So at a time, parallelly, we can install one software in hell number of client machines. Okay, so that is called main Ansible is deploying the number of packages in the single attempt. Like there is saving lot of time by using this Ansible. Okay, so you just think about that. So if you are doing one by one system, we have a 10 VMs. Okay, 10 virtual VMs. We have to install one system, one software. So we cannot do in a short term in the 10 VMs, right? So in that scenario, we can use Ansible. So within a 1 minute, in the 1 minute of duration, we can deploy hell number of VMs of softwares. We can configure a hell number of VMs at a time. So that is what called Ansible into the picture. The similar way we have a Puppet. So these both are working as the same way. Okay, you have you clear with what is Ansible? Hello guys, you there?
Yeah, Vinay.
Okay. So next is operate. So the artifacts has deployed into the virtual machines, and we have configured and dependency everything we have configured with Ansible, and it has been released into the market. So you can use www.netflix.com. So we can operate from here. So everyone, customers, outside customers, we are using Netflix, right? We have to log into the Netflix and we are operating our services and all. So we are watching movies, kind of things we can operate. So what behind these operations will work? So there is called Nagios. Okay. So each and every second, every minute, the monitoring tools are will be watching the entire hardware setup and software setup. Okay. Why the Nagios is there? So Nagios is kind of monitoring tool. It is an open source tool, and we can able to configure our customizations. Okay. So in the market, we have several monitoring tools like Nagios and Datadog, AWS CloudWatch, and so blah blah. There are many tools out there, but depends on organization, depends on project. We are using this Nagios or other tools. So I given you one example earlier, right? So sometimes we are getting Netflix service is not working. So when you are clicking on of the Telugu movies or Hindi movies, you are not able to get the list of movies. So that is called one of the service has been not working. So on the time, what we will configure in the Nagios. So we have to be already write a script and we will set up the some of the configuration threshold values in the Nagios. When the Nagios service is not working, automatically we will get a trigger message. So in the Netflix application, so and so service is not working. Some notifications kind of thing it will provide, and it will displays what is the issue over there. So entire description thing we will get by this Nagios. So this Nagios will throw a notification through the Jenkins to the operation team. Okay, one DevOps engineer guy will be sitting here and he will get a notification through this monitoring tool. What is the issue is going on this operating system? So it will be monitored, it will be informed to the engineer, and he will analyze the issue. What is the issue? What we have to do? Entire thing, he will taking care of that application operating behind. But nowadays also we can do self-healing kind of monitoring tools are there. So without any manual interruptions, the application will automatically resolve the issues. So for example, here one of the service is not working, like Hindu movies service is not working. When you are clicking on the Hindu movies, you are not finding any list of Hindi movies. Okay, on the time, what automatically self healing will be do? So in this scenario, there is a other tools like data kind of monitoring tool is there. So over there we have to be configure the Docker containerization. So this is the Docker containerization. So this is called as a microservices. So there is a pool system over there. Under the pool, we can keep hell number of same kind of services containers. So I will explain deeply about the what is Kubernetes, what is containers, what is microservices. So these are the things to make self-healing operations in the applications of the DevOps. So without any manual interruptions, it will be completely resolve the issue. So but even though we'll get a notifications, so particular duration time the service has been down, and when the threshold value has reached, the pool bean has been implemented, and it will get a new application, like get a new service. It will be replaced with that service and it will be up and running automatically. So entire things will happen by the this DevOps platform. So these are the entire setup will be working by this integration. So this integration makes by Jenkins. So this is in simple terms we can talk. This is a broker. It will take the inputs. It will give the outputs. It will take the information. It will push to the operation teams. They will work on that. So it is having L number of packages, like L number of plugins over there. Each plugin works on their respective jobs. So going forward, we can discuss on more, but this is the overall scenario of the DevOps automation concepts over there. So this is the DevOps basic understanding in the current market where we are working on the organization level. So guys, tell me if you have any questions, please raise it up. I'm ready to open with the answer.
Vinay,
Yeah.
yeah, Vinay, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, in these operations, will what is that? Linux and commands also topics also is there now.
Exactly. Yeah. See, in this DevOps, we have to we have to be involve so many of the tools. So what are the major tools are there? So Linux is one of the major operating system we have to use there. We can use many commands. What are the regular commands we are using in the Linux, and how we should use Linux, and where does it work Linux? Such kind of things I will explain you clearly. No worries on that. So going forward, what I will do, I will make a project wise daily practice sessions, like I will make a lab sessions. Then you will understand what exactly real time, how does it work. So over there you will get a lot of questions. On the time we can clear more deep into the such kind of questions. So what I'm expecting from you guys now, did you understand overall idea of the DevOps? Basically, how benefits with the DevOps, and what is like basic concept of DevOps tools. So such kind of any question, just let me know. So going forward, I will tell you the from the scratch. So from the each initial points, I will clearly explain. I will tell you how does it use. So you guys are good with this now?
Yes, yes, good.
Yes, Vinay. As of now, you clearly understand.
Mhm. Okay, guys. Let me um stop my screen share. So are we good to close this call now?
Okay, Vinay, is this a recorded session?
Yes, is this recorded session and our um, your host will be share the recording session to you guys. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Subbu is right, your host. Like he will
Okay,
Yes.
share your
okay.
yeah. Subbu will taking care. Just ask to Subbu share this recording session, and you
Okay,
guys any questions just reach out us. We can open up with any time. Okay.
sure, sure.
So we
Sure,
can provide
sure, sure,
how
Vinay.
job support, job and interview support trainings, how to get on interview, getting like in the current market, how we are facing questions and how to crack them. Like this such a kind of all support I will give. No worries on that.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, cool guys. We'll discuss on later. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Hello. Bye
Okay,
then.
Vinay.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you.
Hello. See you. Bye.